Hey, how you guys doing? This is your boy KLA Cloud the Wanderer. Yeah, I have a guest, and if before I say my guest, have a good Memorial Day, spend time with your family, and yeah, um, I would like to introduce you to my guest. Her name is Lauren. I forgot the last name. Forgive me.
I'll say it for you.
Navaski.
Everybody butchers it anyways. It's Nadwairski.
Navaski. That ain't really hard to pronounce. Is that Russian name or?
Polish, yeah.
Oh, okay. That was the second thought. If it wasn't
hmm
Russian, it was Polish.
The ski
Okay.
at the end of the name. It's a given.
Oh, was you born here? Your parents like
No,
migrated here?
no, not my parents were born here. My grandparents were born here.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Maybe it's a generation back.
hmm
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so like, yeah, I stumbled across you. I stumbled across your Instagram page, and I was interested and wanted to talk to you. And you're a women's physique competitor.
Yes.
Yeah. How long you been? How long you been into women's physique?
So I actually just competed for my first time this year. The Jay Cutler show was my first show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
So I've
How
only
was
done
it
two.
for you?
Oh,
How was it for you?
what was that?
No, how was the Jay Cutler like preparing
Oh,
for it? Like,
oh my God. The whole experience was amazing. Obviously, I was nervous. I had never been on stage before. Didn't know who I was up against. I had no idea what to expect. So I went in there not really knowing anything and just wishing for the best. Um, Everyone there, whether they worked behind the scenes or they were fellow competitors, were so helpful and amazing. And it was such a good vibe and such a good energy. I ended up placing second in my class. So for my first show at a
okay.
NPC Jay Cutler, I was pretty happy with that.
Yeah. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
So this is like your second competition or
So I did my second competition a week after Jay Cutler. It was the one in Rhode Island. I placed first there. I'm taking a little bit more pride in the Cutler show. There was a little bit more competition there. But I placed first in my second show. So I'm going to take a nice little off season. I'm qualified for nationals now. So I'll be able to, my next show will be a national show. So on the way to a pro card, baby.
I wish you good luck.
Thank you.
What led you into bodybuilding?
I've actually been working out for quite some time. I started back in 2013. Um, and I was just honestly simply unhealthy. I was in my early 20s and I was 220 pounds and I couldn't breathe going up the stairs. And yeah, it wasn't a pretty picture back then. So I just started with simple stuff. I just started walking, changing my food habits a little bit. And then with with progress, it became a lifestyle.
Hmm, that's interesting. At what point you was kind of like I'm sick. Was you always overweight or you just
um,
at a certain point?
For the most part, I was always overweight as a kid. There was a brief time in high school where I was very unhealthy but skinny. Um, Not in shape by any means, skinny, but not in
Mm,
shape. And then yeah, I just after high school, I gained a bunch of weight back due to depression and bad relationships and the standard. Um, and then yeah, all throughout my 20s, I just held on to my weight, and then I started working out and changed my whole life around. And yeah,
at what point did you decide to like change your mindset? Was it like a certain event that happened or?
well, my younger brother got diagnosed with diabetes when he was 12, and that was about the same time that I decided I needed to make a change. It was a little bit of a shocker to our whole family.
Mm,
My whole family is everybody has their health issues, but this was a really big blow to my family. Um, so seeing what he had to go through as a 12-year-old was eye opening for me.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I could recall me being overweight at one point, and it was because of medication and stuff. I was acting
Mhm.
up in my teens, and they kept feeding me like Thorazine, antidepressant drugs and stuff,
Yeah.
and I would stay in the house. Where I was living in a boys' home at one point, and I got big, and so
Mhm.
I think what helped me was like playing basketball. I
Yep.
wasn't good at it, but just going outside and just playing, I just eventually lost the weight, started working out and all that stuff.
Yep.
I'm a little overweight a little bit now because just junk food and going to work and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
but
It's the food. The food is the big culprit, and that I mean that's the easiest thing for everybody to get their hands on too. Anybody could work out for an hour, 2 hours a day. It's you go outside and there's every single food you could possibly want.
yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. They always pushing this food out, especially like junk food and sugary stuff. And
Mhm, and
I
that's the
remember
cheap
one
stuff too.
time,
The healthy food is
yeah,
expensive too. So of course
yeah,
everybody's gonna go for the junk food that costs 99 cents as opposed to the healthy food that costs $5.
yeah. But sometimes like when you do try like the healthy foods, a lot of them don't taste too good. Like they don't got no salt. It
You're gonna like
depends.
healthy food. Healthy food can be delicious.
It depends. I mean, I tasted. I tried like well, it's those with the plant based foods. I don't like them. I don't like those. I don't
No,
like those plant based foods. Nah, you
no,
don't think so?
no, I don't, I agree. The plant-based stuff is not my no.
Oh,
Give me the
yeah.
real meat.
Yeah, because I tasted like a couple of times, like it be like sausage or chicken or something like that. It just don't taste good. Like I don't like it. But there's this vegan store that's around me, like a Chinese restaurant. It's just pretty good. Like
Yeah,
their food is good. Like they'll have. I'm not saying it's good for you like that, but they have like decent food. They have like tofu with garlic sauce and rice, and you get brown rice and white rice and all that stuff. You know,
yep.
but yeah, we got a guest. Always George Page, you people. Yes, we're here, George. And he says this: I can understand diabetes is in my family. I'm pre-diabetic. My sisters and mother had it. Yeah, he was like at one point he was like 500 pounds, and he just slimmed down. He made, yeah. He also like interviews like female bodybuilders and MMA fighters and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, yeah. So but oh yeah, I asked these questions. I'm sorry. So you're like you're like the owner of Tiger Performance Gym,
Yep, Tiger Strength Performance.
Tiger Strength Performance, and
Mhm.
you've been what's it like owning a gym?
Well, we've survived through COVID, the pandemic. We've survived a lot. So these last, 7 to 10 years have been quite a whirlwind. Um, I worked really hard to get to the point I'm at right now in my business, which allows me to have a lot of family time. I can fix my schedule however I need to reflect what my child needs. So in that aspect, owning a business is great. I love owning my gym. On the flip side of it, it's very taxing mentally, emotionally. I'm not like your typical gym owner slash trainer who you're just another number coming through my door. Like I form a connection with my clients. I really try to integrate mental health and physical health. So for me to help somebody with their mental health, I have to get to know them, and that means they tell me all of their problems. They tell me struggles that they're going through, personal, physically, anything. That part is hard for me. I'm not a kind of person that can just turn my emotions off when I leave work. It tends to come home with me. Um, Connecticut sucks to own a small business in.
Yeah,
So there's the typical downfalls in that aspect,
yeah,
but overall, I wouldn't change it for the world. I love helping people. It makes me feel so good when the majority of my clientels are females. I do train a couple guys, but I like to work with females. And just to see them, their confidence every time I see them is a little bit better, a little bit better. Like, that's why I do this. I don't do it, to make $1 million. I don't do it to get clout. I don't do it for any of that. Like, I love helping people. I love watching, especially women. No offense to the guys, but I love helping women find themselves again, especially after becoming moms. You lose yourself a little bit. You lose yourself when you become a mom. You get pushed to the back burner, and I really enjoy helping women realize that they're important too, you know?
Yeah. Like what's like the mental part that you help, get them kind of focus on doing what they
So
have to do.
I'm not by any means like a therapist, or I don't have any mental health certifications or degrees.
Yeah.
But I myself have struggled with addiction, abuse. Um, I've gone through quite a bit in my life, and not a single one of my clients is normal. They all have mental health diseases. They've struggled with addiction. I work hand in hand with therapists that recommend clients to me because they know what type of environment and gym I run. I've opened my door to women that are homeless, women that need help, need somewhere to stay. Um, you cannot have a 100% physically healthy body without your mind being healthy too. There's no way it's gonna
Yeah.
there's no way it's gonna happen. So you really need to work on both those aspects. Like, what is driving you to do the negative things in your life that may have an impact on your health? Like, why do you go drink every night? Why
Yeah.
why are you getting drunk every other night, every weekend? Why are you doing this? There's a reason why you feel like you need to drink every weekend. We know alcohol has a bad effect on your health, has a bad effect on weight loss goals. Um, but think about what it does to your brain, you know? And that's you can say, "Yeah, I want to lose weight. Okay, I'm eating good, but what I really struggle with is drinking, and I know that's holding me back." You have to figure
Yeah.
out why. You have to get down to the why. Why is this holding me back? Why is this such a struggle for me? And that's what I try to help them figure out. Like, we have to get down to the root of it before you can blossom into this flower. We have to get to the root of it. So
Yeah.
that's my main goal is getting to the foundation of everything with them.
Is it always difficult for like your clients to get into the root of it? Because sometimes, for some people on certain things, just going to the root, they might see it, but then it's like, try to do better. I don't know. Because I got my struggles. So,
Yes, there's definitely some clients that they may even be aware of what the problem is, but they're not ready to face it, and that has to
yeah,
come within their own time. Like helping a drug addict, you can't help them unless they want to be helped. You can do everything you can until you're blue in the face and tell them how much you love them and how much you want better for them, but until they're ready, they're not going to do it. I can't force an adult to dig deep and
yeah,
look at what's really going on, but I can be there to show them why they should. I could be there to help guide them when they choose to. And then you have some people who walk in their first session and already tears. This is what's going on in my life and I don't know what to do. So it really all depends on the
yeah,
person.
yeah. What made you like at one point like wanna do this? Because it like just like taking in all that internally and I don't know. It's not easy.
It's not. It's definitely not. I knew I always wanted to help people in some way. I didn't know how.
Yeah,
I wanted to be a therapist. I wanted to be a guidance counselor. I wanted to be X, Y, and Z. Um, but I think it's really like I said, I've struggled a lot. I've gone through a lot in my life, and I feel like I always wanted somebody like me to help guide
yeah,
me into what I should be doing. Um, but also at the same time, somebody that's not like a pushover, like a little bit of a hard ass. Like, some people need a little bit of a hard ass to get themselves out of their situation. Um, When I first started my business, it was actually with my ex, who passed away. Let's see, we had the business together for almost a year, and he ended up passing away unexpectedly. And that grief brought me close to the community. He was a pretty big face in the community. Everybody knew him very well. Um, and that kind of started the mental health aspect of it all because everybody knew what I was going through. And then you have all of a sudden people started coming to me like, how did you deal with this? Like, I just lost my brother. I just lost my dad. I just lost my mom. And it just kind of ballooned like from there. Like, I don't ever want to say that I used my ex's passing as like a way to get into it, but it opened the door for so many people to feel okay about talking about grief and talking about depression and talking about what they're going through. I'm always very open. I know you said you saw my Instagram page. I'm not so much open on there as I am with Facebook, but I post everything that I'm going through. Like my ex died in 2015 and I still post about him. Like grief doesn't end ever. You just figure out a way to deal with it and live with it. Um, so me being open about everything that I've gone through, it's just kind of like a magnet, like to people. Like, oh,
Yeah,
she kind of gets it. Like maybe I can talk to her. So it makes people more open to talking to me by me being open.
yeah,
So,
yeah. My condolences to your husband.
oh, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Uh, all the way is George Page. I'd rather eat real meat than chicken made from ice
Nice
potato.
potato.
What kind of chicken you eat? George? Then he also says the body can't survive without the mind. Yeah, that's true. Like
Exactly. Yes.
yeah, I remember I was watching a samurai movie, and when somebody was saying in the movie, they was like, what good is a healthy body if you don't have a healthy mind? And that's it was one of those samurai movies like in the 50s too. It was really good. Yeah, I forgot the name of it. Yeah,
That's the
but
truth.
like yeah. You ever thought about like doing yoga, or meditation, or something like that, or
So like I personally used to do yoga a lot. I'm slacking
yeah.
off a little bit. I'm slacking off. Um, I've had yoga instructors teach classes at my gym. But it's yoga's awesome. Meditation is awesome. I try to meditate as much as I can, but it doesn't happen as often as I know it should.
Yeah, yeah. I do. It's called Falun Dafa. It's like a spiritual practice of mind and body. It's a
Mhm.
little similar to yoga, but it's like qigong exercises,
Oh,
and
yep.
it has yeah, and it has like principles of
Mhm.
truthfulness, compassion, forbearance, and you have to like incorporate these principles to your everyday life. You know, it's not just that doing the exercises. Like the exercises, it opens up like the energy channels and
Mhm.
stuff. Yeah, so but yeah, I've been doing this since 2006. But
Nice.
back to yeah, but back to the bodybuilding. I mean, like what's your intentions for like in women's physique? You want to move up or
Yeah, I'm gonna get my pro card. I'm getting
you,
it.
you so like you have you thought about doing bodybuilding or like
um,
having like more muscle mass?
yes and no.
Mhm.
I know bodybuilding is a completely different level than physique, and I mean physique's a completely different level than bikini. But bodybuilding is intimidating.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, now it's like like you sometimes you can't like differentiate a
That's true.
physique competitor to a bodybuilder because
Yeah.
even just me understanding the sport, I'm like, what's the difference? And then
Well,
people.
My
broke
fiance
it
says
down to
all the
me.
time, she's like, "I have no idea what I'm even looking for on stage. Like, I don't know, the all the classes look the same to me now."
But they do. They do. Like sometimes the figure, they look either
I've seen some
like
jacked
physique.
figure girls. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I remember I was talking to one figure girl, and I would say she is big as Corey Everson, if you're familiar with her.
Mhm.
You know, I
Mhm.
was like looking at like a comparison. I'm like, and she's bigger than Corey Everson, like if she was competing at that time, you know?
Mhm. It's crazy.
So
Crazy. But yeah, I'm open to floating between classes. Whatever my coach thinks is the best route for me is what I'll do.
yeah. Who's your coach?
So I'm working with Brandon Cooper right now. He's out of Texas. So
Okay.
unfortunately he's not local, which is probably the only downfall to him.
Oh, okay. It's not local. Like you have to see him online or something like
Yeah,
that,
I've
or
never met him in real life.
somebody had told me this before. Like they had to they never met they coach in person, so and they
Mhm.
was training them, but they
Yep.
did good under this person
I
for
mean, he
somebody
he
that didn't
got
see
me
them.
first and second place, so he's doing the job.
Yeah, how you stumbled across him?
Instagram actually. I think somebody had tagged him
Oh, that'll do it.
in one of their stage pictures and stuff, and I was like, "Oh," and I did some research on him. And at this point I hadn't even truly made the decision that I wanted to step on stage. I just wanted to kind of push myself through a prep to see if I could handle it. I'd been working out for 10, 12 years before this point. So I needed a little extra like goal for myself. Like I wasn't dissatisfied with my physique at that point in any way, shape, or form. I was very happy about how I looked. But at the same time, I was like, I don't have anything lighting the fire in me anymore. You know, like
Mm.
12 years later, I need a goal. I need something to look forward to. Um, So I was talking to a few different coaches, and because I really think it's about who you vibe with, because this person's going to know the in and outs of your life. You're going to be sending them half naked pictures all the time. Like you need to feel comfortable with this person. So I talked to a couple trainers, a couple coaches, and he just his whole vibe. We just hit it off. He was very attentive, even though he was very open with his team about some personal things that he was going through. He like never once for, forgot about us or didn't do check-ins with us or anything. He's always on top of things. He's always making sure his athletes feel the most comfortable that they possibly can. Um, so after doing some research, I decided to go with him. And yeah, I mean, first two shows, second and first place.
Yeah, let me show the viewers your physique. Yeah.
Yay.
How far you wanna take it? Like how long? Like competing?
Nope, that was those were my actually those two pictures you just showed were from my that one is from Rhode Island. So the difference between those two pictures is probably 3 years.
Which
And that
one?
before
Which
and after.
one?
Yep,
Right
that
here.
one. That was like 2.5 years difference.
You look like a power lifter at
Nah.
the one on the left. Yeah, I
So,
mean, there's power lifter that's about your size. You
so
ever
I used to be
you
really into
used to
like
do power lifting?
powerlifting. That was my
Okay.
thing before was powerlifting. So after I had my daughter, who's 4 now, I got
Mm.
into like the heavier lifting and I was deadlifting. I was up to 350 on my deadlifts. And the three is for my squat and 215 for bench. Um, and then like the heavy stuff just wasn't really vibing with my body. My
Yeah,
back
I
started
know.
hurting, my knees started
Yeah,
hurting.
yeah, I know.
I was
I
like, if I
know.
want to do
I've
this
heard
for a
it
long time,
before.
I can't be doing it like this.
Yeah, I've heard it before.
Mhm. Mhm.
You women, man, y'all interesting, man. Y'all be doing want be doing all these heavy stuff, and then after a while, it don't agree with you and stuff.
Mhm.
But well, there's nothing I can say. But you have a nice physique. Like
Thank you.
what's like the body part that you want to work on more?
So me and coach are focusing on growing my back and my legs.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So we
right.
got judges reviews after the last shows. And that was what everybody said was my back needs to be a little bit bigger, legs need to be a little denser. But other than that, like my conditioning was on point. So just got to get a little bigger, which means I have to eat more food, which is going to be mentally hard. But that's okay. We could do this.
Yeah. Alphaville Adams, he says impressive.
Thank you.
And all the way to your page, I can understand the passing of a loved one. Yeah, he had a mom he was taking care of, and she passed away during the pandemic.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
How did the pandemic treat? How did the pandemic How did you kind of like adapt it to the pandemic?
Ooh, the pandemic was hard because my daughter was born in March of
Yeah.
2020. So we
Mhm.
literally were in the hospital as we were getting shut down. So one, I was stressed before COVID was even a thing. I was stressed because I was pregnant and I own a business, so I have unpaid maternity leave. So I was already stressed figuring out one, what I was going to do financially, two, what were my clients going to do for 6 to 8 weeks after I have a baby? How am I going to set my gym up to a point where they can come in, still get their workouts in, still kind of know what they're supposed to do without me physically being there? And then, like I said, literally, like the day we were going to get discharged from the hospital, they started doing temperature checks at the hospital for COVID. So I was like, oh. So I figured everything out work wise. I started just doing Zoom workouts with my clients, and they would just Cash App, Venmo me, whatever. Um, but as crappy as COVID was and the pandemic was, it forced me to shut my gym down for a little while, which forced everything to slow down. And if you have to slow down at any point in life, having a newborn is probably the best time to slow down. Like I got to appreciate
Yeah.
every moment with her. I didn't have to send her off to daycare at 8 weeks old. There she is. There's my baby. um, so in a way, COVID was I was very grateful for COVID. And then my clients, obviously everybody was in the same situation, so nobody could really leave their house. But it got to a point where people were like, okay, like we're ready to come back to the gym. Are you going to open? Are you going to open? And so finally I just opened back up. And because I was one of the only gyms in the area that was open, they came
Mm.
flocking to me because I don't know how New York was, but like even buying at home gym equipment at that point in time was
Yeah.
dumbbells were 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 times the price that they should be because people were just trying to make a buck. So you couldn't even buy a set of dumbbells for at home reasonably priced. So it kind of gave my business a little bump towards the end of the pandemic there. Um, so business wise, it wasn't terrible. Could have been better, could have been worse. Um, and like I said, at home, like it allowed me to stay home with my baby. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like in New York, like I remember like a lot of businesses closed down, like
mhm,
permanently. Like there were businesses that closed, but then they was fighting to open up and stuff. I remember there was this one business, like this lady, she owned like a yoga session class, and because I used to pass through there, and like maybe like I would say like couple of months like after like during the pandemic, it it just didn't even exist no more. So
it's so
yeah,
sad what the
so
pandemic
yeah.
did to small businesses. Like I'm very grateful I made it out above all that.
Yeah. Like
Mhm.
what like exercises do you give your clients to do?
It depends on what their goals are. So I used to do boot camps and personal training. I recently just got rid of my boot camp classes. I've just found that what my clients need right now is just more one-on-one, and a lot of them just want to lift and not do sweaty circuit style boot camps anymore. Um, so I have a couple clients right now who are a little bit on the older age side, so we do more PT, body weighted stuff. The majority of my clients are young 20s to early 40s, and these
Mm,
girls rock. Like these girls are flipping 500-pound tires. They're deadlifting 300 pounds. Like, yeah. The
yeah. I never did the tire stuff. Like it's really heavy.
tires
Like
are
you gotta flip
fun.
it over.
Tires are
Yeah.
fun.
Okay. I had a trainer like couple of months back, but I couldn't like continue because I ain't really had it like that. So he had me doing like squats, lunges, little bit of sit ups mostly and stuff. So
Yep.
I don't know. I probably think about going see him, but all the way George paid New Year's is the biggest time for new clients, but drops off after March. Mm,
So that seems to be the common misconception here. So I mean, maybe I'm just out of the norm. New Year's is not a busy time for me. It's still
okay.
Christmas. People are still enjoying their family. They're still enjoying food. They're still enjoying drinking. March, April, May, when the sun is coming out and it's starting to get hot and people are putting on bathing suits and they're like, oh shit, I got 8 months to lose 40 pounds. I got 8 weeks to lose 40 pounds because it's about to be summer. That's when I get
Yeah.
busy. Like right now, I am
Yeah.
swamped, swamped,
Yeah.
way busier
Yeah.
than I was in January.
Yeah. Everybody want to be half naked nowadays,
Right,
show off and all that stuff.
right. So then they see all of a sudden
Yeah.
like 180-degree day and they're like, well, I've been drinking and eating for the past 8 months straight. I should probably
Yeah.
do something about this.
Yeah. 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 But before pictures,
Yeah.
few years ago. What?
Yep.
Let me ask you something. What's the difference between years ago into a sport that is extreme and could kind of jeopardize your health?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, I feel like I've done a lot worse things in my life than
Right.
bodybuilding. I've been a drug addict. I've been a lot of things. I've been a lot of things. So I feel like the stress that I could be putting on my body right now is nothing close to what I've done to my body already.
Yeah, I just asked because there's times there's bodybuilders pass away for different reasons and stuff. You never you know there's bodybuilders pass out on stage at one point.
Mhm.
So
I mean, that's the thing too. Like going back to my coach, like it's their job to get you on stage and to do what you got to do, but it's also their job to make sure that you do it the healthiest way possible. The people who are passing
right.
out on stage are not trained the proper way. They're not coached the proper way. Like at no point did I feel like I was going to keel over and die. At no point did I feel like I needed to hold on to the ledge because I was going to fall. Like you shouldn't feel like that. Like if you're coached properly, that shouldn't be happening.
Hmm. Yeah. Some people they switch coaches and you know.
Mhm.
Yeah. How long you been with your new spouse?
So I have been with Miranda for a little over 2 years.
Okay. Okay.
We're getting
Does
married
she got okay?
in
Good luck. I mean, like, does she intend to do bodybuilding or she just good?
So she definitely does not take it as seriously as me, but I will say she's lost over 100 pounds, so she is pretty serious. Um, she's not. I didn't think I was a stage person, but she's definitely not a stage person. She's back of the room. Like she is my biggest supporter. I can honestly say, if I didn't have her through this prep and these shows, it wouldn't have happened the way that it did. And she's good with staying in the sidelines and cheering me on. She said I could shine here, but she's a hard worker too. Like I said, she's lost over 100 pounds. She looks freaking great. Like,
Okay. Okay. But like, do you like look at other shows or you have like somebody that do you have like a bodybuilder that you admire? Anything like that?
I mean, currently I'm girl crushing on Ivy. See her rock the stage. Ivy
Ivy
is
Rain?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah. She has a nice
Um,
physique. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, she's
yeah,
gnarly. Um, Honestly, it's a bunch of like local girls that I'm just flabbergasted by. Like, yeah, I like me the pros. I like to see them win 3, 4, 5, 6 times. But I really like to watch the local girls come from the bottom up. Like I like them. I like to see the progression of people getting there. Um, but yeah, Ivy's a current.
yeah. Have you attended like a bodybuilding show
Yeah,
or?
yeah. Actually, me and my
Oh,
fiance were supposed to go. There's a Connecticut one next month, and we were gonna go. We are gonna see if we could go. A couple of our friends are competing in it, but um, there's quite a few shows that we actually have that we want to try to hit within the next year. And it's just good to go as a spectator, just to see
yeah,
everything from the opposite side, you know.
yeah,
I like to be in the audience, so
yeah. I went to my first bodybuilding show couple wait, was it a couple weeks now? The 18th, like last week or something like that. Yeah, I went to the New York Pro. I
oh,
went
then
late, but I missed the women's bodybuilding and the women's figure. Reason
mm,
why, because I was coming from, I was at work, and I wanted to charge my phone at the last minute, and then I had to get the train to take me to to the Washington, near the Washington Bridge for the through the Uber and stuff, and then
oh my
time I got
gosh.
there, yeah, yeah, I see some familiar faces and stuff. Some of the bodybuilders, they kind of like they seem a bit kind of closed, like a wall or something like that.
Well,
And
you have
I,
to know
I
though, like if there were bodybuilders that were competing and not in the audience, they haven't eaten like anything all day and haven't drank any water.
yeah.
So don't take it personally.
No, what really is it's like the audience though,
uh,
like they were like spectators really. So I did meet one bodybuilder that I interviewed and stuff. Yeah, we just talked brief and stuff. But
I have to
I've seen like the huh?
say, Jay Cutler, when I did the Jay Cutler show, like Jay Cutler was bouncing around in the venue, and he was the most down to earth person. Like his social media presence is exactly what he is in real life. Like he took the time to talk to anybody and everybody, took pictures with everybody, autographs. Like he was so down to earth. He was awesome.
Okay, all
That's how everybody should be.
right. Yeah, but some people ain't like that. I mean, there's times I do understand. You don't always want to be bothered and stuff like that, and it's to each his own. Because I got my moments. I
Of
had
course.
to kind of look at myself because sometimes I can be, sometimes I don't want to be bothered or want to speak to nobody at times. So I get it.
Yeah.
But it was just my first experience. Like I've seen bodybuilders before, other places, but like in a first competition,
Mhm.
just yeah.
Yeah.
Davos Adams is super hot outside. Like my God, it's hot. Yeah, summer's approaching. Like, you have any plans for like the summer or?
It is very hot today. Um, my plans for the summer is just getting ready for this wedding in August.
Yeah, yeah. I hope.
Mhm.
Yeah, I hope. I hope it turns out great, man. But
Probably gonna be a million degrees that day, but that's fine.
when you gonna have the wedding?
It's August 31st. It's at a farm in Connecticut. So outside. So
Okay,
probably gonna be so hot.
okay. I'm sure you'll be okay. I got some clips I put together. You want to check it out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
you. That was
How
so
many
cute.
days you? How many days in a week that you? How many days like in a week do you spend in the gym? Like,
5. I work out 5 days and rest for 2.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, all right. Yeah, I have another one. Like,
I'm
check it out.
here.
What's your favorite workout routine?
What was that?
What's your favorite workout routine?
Oh, um, honestly, I just started a whole new training program, and the way that it's killing me, I'm gonna say none of it. But
Say that again. I ain't.
I would have to say if there was, like, one body part that I like training right now, it's back.
Oh, okay. All right.
Anything back. Legs, I used to like doing legs a lot, but it's not my favorite right now.
Yeah, I've been hearing that. Like, there's people that don't really like to work out legs.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
not.
know it's that machine that you have to like push the.
Mhm.
I can't. I don't know the name of it. Like the press, like the leg
Yep,
press or something like that.
yep.
Yeah, that. Yeah, I know that hurts like your quads and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. I remember that one.
Mm,
Because I remember I did it, and it was like at one point I just like, whoa, that's a lot. But the thing is, like you like doing that, like you would have like these strong legs. Like I always, I always had like this fantasy of being a little muscular, and I would like look at my legs and stuff, just having strong legs.
yep. No,
Yeah,
you gotta have strong legs.
yeah. I used to do like lunges and stuff and squats. So yeah. Like, what's uh like a tip for somebody starting off dieting for you?
Um, I mean, if you're starting off dieting and trying to change your like food habits around a little bit, and it's a struggle for you, just start slow. Make one change at a time. Don't try to change everything. One change at a time. If you drink 7 sodas a day, cut it down to 4. You don't need to be perfect, just make a small change. Um, keep everything simple. For some reason people think that they have to like cook like Emeril Lagasse to be able to meal prep. Keep it simple and always meal prep because prepping will keep you on track. Um, if it's somebody that's struggling getting into actually like physically moving and working out and moving their body, start like I did. Start slow. Just start somewhere. Do something that you didn't do yesterday. You didn't do any push-ups yesterday. Cool. Do one push-up today. It's more than you did yesterday, right? You don't have to go out and run a marathon. Just go walk a little bit further than the mailbox. You walked to the mailbox yesterday, walk a little bit further than the mailbox today. One day, maybe you'll run that marathon. But if it's a dooming, looming task for you, break it down step by step. Just go super simple. Super simple.
That's how you did. Like, you just did like you said like I'm gonna just do like one push up, or
Literally,
do you?
like I said, I started walking. Like that's how this all started was I started walking and it was just around my neighborhood at first and then it was outside of the neighborhood and then it was, oh, let me see if I can do a little jog for 15 seconds and then go back to walking and then go back to jogging. And then before I knew it, I was full on knees to chest sprinting down the road a mile away from my house. And I just progressed to there. And the same thing with getting yourself into a gym. Gyms could be intimidating for people. We have people who judge
Yeah.
you. And now in today's social media age, you have people recording every single thing that they do in the gym, and maybe you don't want to be in the back of their video. Again, start small. If you're used to walking outside, you can probably walk inside at the gym on a treadmill, which might lead you to go do some machines, which might lead you to go do some weights, which might lead you to squat 350 pounds one day. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, they got like a lot of, especially like on Instagram. I see a lot of people like they post like a lot of these exercise tips and stuff where you can just go and check them out. Yeah, it's some really. Sometimes it's really like some challenging exercises. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but it took you to do it.
Start simple. Just start simple.
At what point you started like seeing the results, like the
It that's a little bit different for like every point of my life, like in this weight
yeah,
loss journey. When I
yeah,
first started losing weight and working out, initially when I was like 220 pounds, I made one drastic change with my food intake. Like I used to eat fast food almost every single meal that I ate was out somewhere, whether it be McDonald's or grabbing a breakfast sandwich from Dunkin' Donuts. It was always eating out. So the one change that I made was I was just going to eat at home. It didn't matter if it was healthy or not healthy food. It's just I'm eating it at home. I know what I'm cooking. Like, okay, if I made a bowl of cereal with milk, at least I know it's a bowl of cereal with milk and not loaded with salt or whatever they put in at McDonald's or a restaurant. And just by drastically changing my food intake, I started losing weight within the first 2 weeks. And then I started adding working out, and again, about 2 weeks in, I started seeing even more results. Um, and it really depends on again what your goals are. Like right now, I'm in my off season, so I'm going to be eating more food. I'm going to be doing a bulk, and I'm seeing results from eating more pretty quickly.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh,
It's a lot. It's a lot.
so
Um,
it really depends, and it depends on the person too. And something I tell my clients is, if you want 100%, you got to give 100%. Like if you walk in through my doors and you're like, "Hey, Lauren, I want to look like you." Okay, are you working out now? No. Well, I've been working out for 12 years. So talk to me again in 10 years because I've
mm.
put the time in. You have to put the time in. You have to be able to do this and put 100% into it if you want 100% out. If you give it 50, you're going to get 50.
Do you have like friends that bodybuild or compete or anything like that?
So in my close friend group, I'm actually like the only nut job that does this. um,
Mm.
in my wider friend group, especially now that I've done competitions and I've made those bonds with other girls at the shows, my bigger friend group now entails a lot more competitors and bodybuilders. But my friends think I'm crazy. My family thinks I'm crazy. It's okay.
Yeah, yeah, because it's not the norm. So
No, it's not. It's not, which makes me even more prideful that I do it, you know. Um, at my last show, one of the girls was like, "Oh my God, I'm just so scared to get up there. Like, what if the audience thinks X, Y, and Z?" And I'm like, "But the audience isn't up here. Like, do you know that we are in the very rare 1% of people who just even make it to the stage, who do the things we have to do to get to the stage? Never mind what we place. We're the crazies in this world. Like, who cares what other people think? They're not brave enough to do this." So
do you have a lot of fans and stuff that message you, DM you, and all that
um,
craziness?
I wouldn't say fans. My fiance might call them fans. She might say I'm getting famous, but I'm not famous. I don't, you have the weirdos. You have people who like, actually, you posted one of the videos in the collages you made on one of those videos. I had a couple comments saying, "Oh, that's a man." And I'm like, "Well, thank you for that, like, semi compliment because I do want some muscles like a man. So thank you." Um, then you have the guys who try to slide their slide their shots into the DM. But other than that, I haven't had any real issues, and I don't think I want to become like known or famous or anything like that. I just want to be able to do what I do and take pride in it, you know?
Do you see in your opinion, do you see bodybuilding like more like mainstream, or just a little bit kind of to a point where you know people, it could be a lucrative sport, or you just like
I
whatever.
I think that the bells and whistles of social media has skewed bodybuilding and competitions from what it should be and what it used to be.
Yeah,
There are a lot of bells and whistles. There are a lot of politics behind it. There's, you know, um, do I think it's just a ha ha he he? No, absolutely not. The people who are involved in this and the athletes that truly take it seriously, like this is their life, this is our lifestyle. Um, it's a job and a passion all in one. So
yeah. You got all over his George page. Everyone has to start in their own speed. That's how I did it. Yet there will times you'll fall. Why do we fall? Because we learn to pick ourselves up. Yeah. And I do push-ups. That's what I do. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't want to take too much of your time, but I appreciate you, giving me the opportunity to talk with you, and you know, best of luck on your journey, and yeah,
thank you. Well, thank you for reaching out and thanks for doing this with me. Keep your eye on me because maybe the next interview we do, it'll be when I have my pro card.
yes, I will look forward to it. Yeah, I appreciate that. Appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
All right, all right. See you later.
All right. Have a good weekend.
All right, you too. All right,
Thanks.
folks, that's a wrap.